Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Anita Branca and welcome to my channel. You've probably seen some of my Taekwondo and kickboxing videos on TikTok and Instagram. Now I'm getting a lot of requests on showing people how to perform certain techniques. So today this video is an instructional video on how to throw a roundhouse kick. Now this roundhouse kick is in regards to Taekwondo. There are different martial arts styles, there are different ways of teaching the roundhouse. I started Taekwondo when I was 4 years old, and this is the way that my dad taught me. So, what I always start off with is a good stance. So if you don't start in a good stance and finish in a good stance, you won't be able to execute the kick properly, and you won't be able to land properly to be able to execute another kick. So let's start with the stance. Have your feet shoulder width apart, so they're directly underneath your shoulders. And drag, in your case today, your favorite leg back. Try and use your favorite. Drag it back to a position where it is not too far out, where you'll feel the need to readjust to be able to move out or kick again. And it's also not too far in to need to readjust and kick again. Or if it's too far in, you'll feel that if someone hits you, you might lose your balance. So my perfect distance between both feet is about here. It's actually a bit further out than shoulder width, so I normally feel comfortable and safe bouncing with my feet at this distance. So facing the front again, feet shoulder width apart, drag one foot back. Now your toes, try and face them on a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle, hands up. Bend your knees slightly and bounce. So from there, you should be able to move out and move in comfortably. Now, from there, we're going to start the roundhouse kick. First step is to make sure that you bring up the knee as far as you can. So you bring the knee all the way up to your chest. You'll notice that when I bring my knee up, I point my foot. That's getting prepared for the contact at the end. So when we execute the kick and we hit the contact, we don't want our toes facing up, or we will hit our toes and you can break them if you kick hard enough. So I point the toes from the very beginning and I make sure that my knee is up high, because if your knee is not high, your kick will not be high. If your knee is low, you'll kick low. So bring it back to square one. Step one is knee up, toes pointed, and back down. Now step two involves a couple of rotations. So one is of the hips. You want to make it that your body faces this way in the beginning, and after you've rotated your hips, they're facing the other way. So from here, you bring up the knee and you rotate your hips. To be able to rotate your hips, that foot at the bottom needed to pivot. So watch the bottom foot. Don't watch this leg for now. The bottom foot pivots. If it doesn't pivot, I find it very hard to even show you the wrong way. If it doesn't pivot and you try and bring your leg around, it actually can't. I can't do that. If you bring it around that way, you will hurt your knee. I've seen a lot of people hurt their knee because they're not pivoting that bottom foot properly. So bring it back, knee up, one, pivot two. Now, once your foot's pivoted, you'll find it much easier to have your ankle and your knee at the same height. Make sure your toes are pointed here too. The reason why you want everything at the same height, hip, knee, ankle, all at the same height, is because when you hit, you want to go through the target. You want all of your power to go through the target directly. If your knee is slightly down, your power will go up and you'll lose some of it. You won't be able to impact hard. So, step one, step two, and step three is to point the foot out. Now, when you point the foot out, same thing applies. Try and make it that your hip, your knee, and your ankle are all in line with one another. So 1, 2, and extend out. 1, 2, and 3. See how they're all in line? Bring it back, drop down. I like to retract my foot. That's just so when it hits the target, it makes a popping sound. So once I've hit, I like to bring the heel back to my bottom. So I'll do that slowly for you. Step one, knee up, toes pointed. Step 2, bottom foot is pivoted, ankle, knee, same height, toes are pointed, ankle locked, kick out, knee, ankle and hip, all in line with one another. Bring it back to my bottom, my heel, and then drop down. And start again, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, back, 4. So that's a roundhouse kick to the stomach. I hope that helps. If you find that you can't balance to practice those steps slowly, you can also use a wall. So let's just say I've got a wall here. Hold onto the wall with this hand. That would mean that your roundhouse kick is going into that direction. Put your foot into the pivoted position already. Have it in the pivoted position, about there. Hold onto the wall. Bring your knee and your ankle up. If you want, you can even hold it for a second to practice that. Kick out, pull it back, drop down. And again, knee up, ankle, kick out, and drop down. A good way to build that muscle that has the control for a roundhouse, you'll notice how I can hold my foot out. Something my dad also taught me was to hold onto the wall and just keep on kicking out. You'll find, one, you can start just using one finger at the end, and you'll find your balance becomes very good, and the strength in that leg is very strong, and it can hold out your roundhouse kick for longer. So I'll just throw the roundhouse kick fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. And faster, pivot. As you get faster taking off the back leg, you'll find that your pivot is even better. Now my body's facing one way in the beginning, the other way at the end. And that's it. I hope that helps for the roundhouse kick. I'll go through some of my inboxes and see what other kicks people have requested me to show. Leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.